Hello and welcome to the 15th edition of the Two Black, Two Nerdy podcast. All right, well, I'm your host, Kris.
I'm your host, Kris, and we're probably cutting that out.
Probably. Jesus Christ. No, we made our Kelly jokes on the... So, I recently just taped a special edition where I, talked to Lanisha, who is a black podcaster. And we talked about some interesting topics, talked about anime, we talked about a lot of Twitter drama, so if that's not up before this, then it'll be up pretty soon, so definitely go check that out. But today, Kris is here, so I'm Kris, and...
I am Kris.
And we're going to talk about a variety of topics. I think we're starting out with My Hero Academia, and just kind of going through some of the things we missed. So, yeah, My Hero Academia is on season 3, going strong. Mm-hmm. It's a good show. I don't know. It's a good anime.
Yeah, I don't know if we've reached the Rock Lee dropping weights portion of it. I think maybe you could call the All Might, All for One battle that, but I don't know if we've reached that level. I just saw a tweet, I think earlier today or last night, that said, everyone had a Naruto face, and someone replied like, no. Once you saw Rock Lee drop those weights, you were in for life.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, that was, Rock Lee and Naruto dropping the weights was like, that was the moment Naruto went from being just like another show to like, crazy.
Right. So I really enjoy My Hero Academia. I think it's doing a lot. It's expanding on, like it's in the test, the provisional license test. Like I think it maybe covered like a chapter or two in the manga, and this one you're probably gonna have maybe another 3 or 4 more episodes to it. So you're able to see some more cool things with like what they'll be able to do with their powers, which I enjoy. I'm really digging it.
Yeah, no, I mean it's a good show. It's almost people compare it to Naruto a lot, I think, in the sense of like it has a cast of characters with like different abilities. So everyone's kind of able to go in and like pick their favorite character. Similar to like classic Naruto kind of had that feel where it's like, oh, I like Neji, I like Rock Lee, I like Gaara. There's that in My Hero Academia. People like Bakugo, people like Todoroki, people like Uraraka.
I don't know who likes Bakugo. If anybody likes Bakugo, they can come talk to me about it, because Bakugo is just annoying.
I was watching this parody video. I think he's a I don't know if he used to be a Viner. I think his name is like Long Beach, like Griffey or something like that. But
okay, I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
He did a My Hero Academia parody of with Deku and Bakugo, where it's kind of like the Vine thing where you do like one guy plays all the characters, and he plays like Bakugo. He's just stalking Deku. Like you'll see Deku, he's like eating cereal, and Bakugo's just watching him. He's just like, Deku, stay out of my way. And it's just like, and then he just follows him. You have like Deku's like, he's like sitting on the toilet, and then like Bakugo's there, and then Deku just has like a breakdown. He's like, what do you want? Okay. He's like, leave me alone. He's like, I'm out here grinding. It was funny.
See, like I like Todoroki. Shoto is definitely the king of shade after this last manga chapter.
Slight spoiler.
Yeah. Well.
Okay, so slight spoiler. His Todoroki's dad gets in a big fight, and he gets a facial scar.
Yeah.
And then there's a scene where Todoroki looks at him, and he's like sipping noodles. He just looks at him and goes, "That's a nice scar."
And then continues to.
And then just continues to eat. Yeah.
And yeah, so that's pretty good. I like why can't I remember his name right now? With his dark shadow.
Dark Shadow.
Birdface.
It's on the tip of my tongue. I know his name.
Yeah.
Tokoyami.
Yes, Tokoyami. I like him too. I like his powers. I think that's pretty cool, and I think it has a good like double-edged sword. At night, it's more powerful, but it's also more wild.
Yeah.
And I think I'm looking forward to the spinoff about the girls, because Yayorozu has, I think, the best power on the show.
Pretty much. She can literally make anything.
And then I like Asui because she's just a good grounding character, I think, for all of them.
Yeah, for sure. No, I mean, Academia, it's a good cast. There's a movie coming out.
Mm-hmm. I think that's going to take place, like, I saw a couple images from it. I think it's going to deal with, like, All Might either, like, when he's first starting out when his master's still alive, or maybe, like, when he's still, you know, in his prime.
Yeah, because you can see his eyes.
Yeah.
Which you normally can't. It is weird. Because normally when he's buffed up, you can't see All Might's eyes.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to think of anything else. Yeah, good art and animation, solid. Because I definitely felt like there was like a void of like good shonens after like Naruto and Bleach ended. Mm-hmm. I mean, One Piece exists, but at this point, like, I mean, I read One Piece.
It's about 80% done.
Yeah, I tweeted. The author said One Piece is about 80% done, and I said, all right, so 20 more years, guys.
Yeah. I think. What'd you think of the All Might All for One fight?
It was good.
Yeah, it was
United States Smash.
Yeah, it was what I was looking forward to once I read it. I read it because I didn't start reading the manga until after I caught up with the show, and it was this past December. I was in Orlando with my family, and I was like reading it, and my niece wanted to read it with me, and I'm just like, I can't let you read it until after I read it, so I know that it's all appropriate for you. But yeah, when I was reading that, I was just like, oh, I can't wait to see this animated.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was cool. But the point I was going to say about One Piece is that One Piece is one of those things where it's so long that, like, I feel like either you're reading One Piece or you're never going to.
Right.
Just because it's been around for so long, there's so many chapters, like, it's almost like getting into, like, I don't know, people like stuff like Battlestar Galactica or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, it has its base, and it's going to have to survive off that base unless they do some sort of reboot.
Right. I am never probably going to start watching the One Piece anime again. I'll watch clips from it.
I watch clips. Well,
but I won't watch.
Anime's way too slow.
Right.
Because they do one chapter per episode, and One Piece is already, like, a slower manga. Like, right. Especially, like, when they get to a new area, it's usually super slow, because it's like, all right, we got to meet all these characters and figure out, like, the government and the dynamic of this place, and who are the good guys and who are the bad guys, and, you know, watching that in anime is just like, all right.
Ichiro Oda is the J.R.R. Tolkien of the manga verse in terms of creators. He goes so in depth in detail of each area that they visit.
Yeah, no, I mean, he'll have, like, the environment, the government, he'll have, like, the class structure of all the people who live there. I'm trying to think.
How the world government is corrupt in pretty much every place, except for, like, Alabasta. It's pretty much the one place where the government was fine.
Yeah.
Besides, you know, they liked Crocodile.
I will say, though, the One Piece manga right now is pretty good. It's pretty good, though.
Yeah, slight spoiler. The gang are in Wano now, and Luffy and Zoro about to fight together for the first time in
like 2 years.
Yeah, I'm just like, okay, all right.
Yeah, I was kind of sick of Whole Cake Island after a while. Like, it was like, I don't know.
I didn't really care for it.
Yeah.
Like, when he was fighting Dogtooth, I was just like, whatever, just hurry up and win.
Pretty much. But is there anything you want to say about My Hero? It's a good shonen.
Yeah, it's very good shonen. Like the use of the powers, and everyone has a different one, and how it sort of takes superpowers and sort of puts new inventive ways of doing them.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much a member of the new big three.
Yeah.
Definitely. I think the only so you got like One Piece and My Hero. I think the only one that's like trying for a spot. You heard of Black Clover?
Yeah.
I couldn't get into it, but I know that they're trying. I'm pretty sure they marketed Black Clover as like the new Naruto. And I watched one episode, and the main character's voice, I couldn't get through it. It was so annoying. It was like people thought that like Naruto's voice was bad. But, like, the main character's voice in Black Clover, I was like, I can't do this. Like, it almost sounded like they were trying to do, like, a parody of what, like, Naruto's voice would sound like with the main character, and I was just like, I can't.
Sort of like how I feel about Goten in the dubbed version of Dragon Ball Super. Like, everybody else is fine. like Goten is terrible, and then in the Dragon Ball Super sub, like I can't stand Goku's voice, so it's just like, well, I can deal with it, I guess.
Yeah, his sub voice is not the greatest. I will say that Dragon Ball is one of those shows where I think the dub is genuinely just better than the sub. Because a lot of people feel like subs are inherently superior, you know, but there are certain dubs like Dragon Ball where I think the dub is just much better.
I like for My Hero Academia. I think I like both rather equally. Mm-hmm. I don't think the sub All Might touches Christopher Sabat as the dubbed All Might.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what's funny? I saw the someone put a clip of the Japanese version of Thor Ragnarok, and the guy who's doing like the Japanese dub for Thor in that movie is the person who does the Japanese voice for All Might, and I like noticed it, so it was funny.
Well, speaking of Dragon Ball.
Yeah, so they announced what the new movie is going to be about. They're redoing the Broly story, and Broly is now canon.
Yes. How do you feel about that?
It'll be fine. I mean, people were making fun of the fact that after Dragon Ball Super, it was like, oh my gosh, all these new universes to explore, and then you see Toriyama, and he's just like, Broly.
When Broly now. Which is interesting because it looks like this one will have a more personal feel to it than the first one, where it's like, oh, Goku cried a lot.
Yeah.
Broly is literally a giant.
Broly is one of those characters that's like, he's loved and hated. Like, the thing about Broly is that he's extremely popular in the fandom, especially the America. Yeah, the American fandom loves Broly
and loves Cell.
You know, and you can tell that people love him because, like, on the video games, Broly hasn't been relevant in anything in years, and he's almost always on a cover of the drug.
And they gave him 3 movies.
Yeah, they gave him 3 movies. He's on the cover of so many Dragon Ball video games over the years, you know. He's a popular character, but he's not canon. So I guess now, even though they had Kale in Dragon Ball Super, I guess Toriyama felt like he wanted to make Broly canon. And what I hope we get out of this movie is just a better origin story and just more character out of him than just being, like, angry and evil.
I don't think we will, because it seemed like even in the granted it was a short trailer, but you know, you had his father, who it still holds, his name is Paragus, and he's just like, do it, Broly, and then Broly went in charge, and I'm just like, well, that's kind of annoying. But I wouldn't be opposed if this was this like some rogue Saiyan cell that went out before Vegeta blew up and has just been going from place to place, pretty much being like how Turles was, you know, like some pirates.
Yeah.
And then
well, I'm curious what the explanation of, like, where has he been this whole time? Frieza's supposed to be in it too. I think he fights Frieza. I wonder if he's gonna kill Frieza, because I almost wanted to do I meant to make this meme, but I haven't. I wanted to take the beginning of Infinity War with Thanos. You know, at this point, everybody knows Thanos strangling Loki. Yeah. I wanted to replace that with Broly strangling Frieza.
Yeah.
I might put that on Reddit. Like, if that's how I hope the movie opens, just Broly just destroying Frieza.
Well, the dub voice, because you know they did a dub trailer of it. The dub Frieza, I can't remember what disease he has, but he's sick, and he's been sick for a little bit. But he specifically did the trailer, and while he was doing the dub version of the trailer, you only had 15% lung capacity.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, man, kudos to him, man. I hope he gets better.
Yeah, dude. Voice acting is like, well, the thing is, like, your whole career relies on, like, that one area. When you get sick, I mean, that sucks. I think, is it Chris Ayres, I think is his name?
Yeah.
Because I think his brother voiced,
Cooler?
Not Cooler, but, Frost.
Oh, Frost.
He has a brother named Greg Ayres, and I think his brother voiced Frost in the dub.
Yeah. So I think it'd be cool to see Broly kill Frieza. I mean, I don't see why he would come to Earth other than to either subjugate or to take over Earth. Like, you have to have some personal connection to it.
Yeah, I hope there's just some story in there I heard that Toriyama, he doesn't want to bring back Ultra Instinct.
Yeah, he's like, it makes the show too cheap.
It makes it too cheap.
Yeah.
Well, duh. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
I mean, the show would have been fine if Goku had the defensive Ultra Instinct and Vegeta had the attack.
Yeah, I read
that.
They
actually have to work together. Like, which was kind of weird that Frieza and Goku worked together at the end of the tournament better than Vegeta and Goku did.
Yeah. Yeah, and 17 was there. MVP.
Yep, 17 was a real MVP for sure.
Yeah. He got that cruise ship at the end.
Yeah, I was about to be like, you would use Super Dragon Balls for that? Really? You couldn't just ask Bulma to do that?
Yeah, exactly.
Speaking of, what do you think they're going to do about Bulma for the sub?
For the sub, they're probably going to have to recast her, I guess, which sucks, but I mean, unless you just don't give her any lines.
Or you have something from before. But you know what that makes me think of is they just released the casting for Star Wars Episode 9.
Yeah.
And Carrie Fisher is in there. And
she has a scene in there.
Right. They're going to reuse clips from Episode 7 that they never used. Which is like, okay, maybe they have some, like, I mean, granted, she was Bulma for 30 years, 31, 32 years. So they have to have something.
I think it was your brother who said that he wants Lando not to be depressed.
Oh, good lord, yeah.
Because he's like, we've had depressed Han, depressed Leia, depressed Luke. He's
like, Lando's just out there being happy, living his best life.
Did you see the GIF I shared?
In response to that?
Yeah. There's the old man at a basketball game.
Oh, man.
Yeah, but I don't know what they're going to do with Bulma. But, I mean, regardless, the movie should be okay. I'm assuming they're going to come out with another series after.
Yeah, I think that was their plan. They wanted the manga to surpass it. And right now, do you read the Dragon Ball Super manga?
Oh, off and on. They're in a tournament still, right?
Yeah, so they're at the tournament, but Kale just went nuts and wiped out like half the people.
Half the people. Classic.
So, people were like going out back and forth. Like Krillin didn't get his chance to shine in it. Tien didn't. Don't remember if Master Roshi did or
18's
not.
out too, I think.
Yeah, so they've just been speeding through it. So probably come September or October, the tournament could be done.
Yeah.
Because Goku and Jiren just fought for the first time, or are fighting now, but no Ultra Instinct has come out yet. And I doubt they're going to do a Spirit Bomb because you don't have enough people really for that.
Yeah. I think I'm curious to see what they're going to do after the tournament, because my part of me is like, where do you go after that? You know what I'm saying? I mean, the movie is like Broly, but I'm like, what do you know what I mean?
I still didn't really like the tournament. To be completely honest with you, I still think the people that are doing Dragon Ball Multiverse, who have been doing it for like 10 years, which is nuts to me, how their tournament is doing, because it's just like, that's a lot more inventive than just what they did there. Yeah,
well, I think with Dragon Ball Multiverse, they mess with the lore a lot more. With Super, it was just like random characters, and like the Super like universes, a lot of them were very like gimmicky. It's like, all right, well, this is the robot universe.
Like, and we have to remember, this is really a show for kids.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. Like, people do take Dragon Ball a little too seriously, because like, it is a kid show at the end of the day, and it's not. It's the same time. Like, say like even like Teen Titans Go. Like, I hated it when it first came out too, but after watching some of it, I'm like, oh, this is literally for like 5 to 10-year-olds.
Yeah, I only hated it because the campers that I was camp counseling for, they're like, it's better than the first Teen Titans. And I'm like, you don't say that. You don't say that.
Yeah.
But like that show, like I've watched some of it, and it's pretty funny. But how they end the movie, which has nothing to do with the plot, so I guess it's a spoiler, but it has nothing to do with anything, is right before the screen cuts to black and the credits start, Robin stops it and like pulls open the screen. He's like, hey kids, ask your parents where babies come from. And then it goes to black, and I'm just like, could you imagine all the parents in there that are just like,
Yeah.
Who hadn't thought of like, wait, they shouldn't be asking this question.
I wonder why they put that joke in there.
To troll.
Just to troll.
I mean, that whole movie, from like the clips I've seen, is just one big troll.
Yeah. I know the thing. I will say the thing I appreciate about Teen Titans Go is they do have a lot of good Easter eggs in there. Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, they make fun of Marvel. They make fun of the DCEU. They'll make fun of the comics. Yeah. Pretty much. Because I think I saw a clip and it was like there was like a storage room that had like all the seasons of shows that were never made. Mm-hmm. It was like Young Justice season 3, Green Lantern season 6. You saw, and I think there was one for like it was like BVS. It was like Dawn of Justice, and they had BVS like Bedtime of Justice or something like that. Mm-hmm. Like they're just having fun. Or they made a Deadpool joke in the trailer, didn't they?
Yeah, they called Slade Deadpool.
With Deadpool, and he's like,
"Isn't Deadpool say something funny and look in the camera?"
Yeah. So, but I mean, getting back to Dragon Ball, I mean, it's Dragon Ball. At the end of the day, it is for kids. So I think sometimes people do set their expectations a little too high. Mm-hmm. You know, but you know, come January. Well, it comes out probably mid or in January. So probably come February podcast, we'll be talking about it. Yeah, we should get tickets.
Yeah, have they started selling them yet?
I don't know.
We'll look into it.
Yeah.
We'll keep it posted. Yeah.
So, you want to talk about, you can talk about Mission Impossible.
Yeah, I saw Mission Impossible Fallout.
I didn't.
I think it's my favorite one of the series. It was action-packed, good story, good. Like, I think it was good character development for, some of the other characters because, you know, Ethan Hunt is pretty much the same. As he has been, but you saw, like, I think the set pieces, the cinematography, the stunt work all went up a level. Tom Cruise keeps topping himself. Mm-hmm. Almost died like during like 2 different scenes in the movie, but they did a Halo jumping scene and they actually did it, mm-hmm. Which was pretty cool. And then, you know, obviously like hanging from a helicopter, like. You couldn't pay me enough to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Tom Cruise's dedication to realism is pushed to the extreme here.
Pretty
even
much.
More so than hanging off the side of an airplane, taking off in the air.
Yeah, he's giving The Rock a run for his money.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think this was a pretty great film. It was probably one of the best action movies of the past several years. So I would definitely recommend going to see it.
Okay, yeah, no, I mean, it definitely looked good from the trailers. People keep using the gif of a Henry Cavill.
Reloading his fist.
Good
lord, that scene was brutal.
Was it?
It was a great fight scene, but, like, you knew it was serious when he, you know, he, like, takes off his jacket right before, and then it's a, and I was just like, good lord.
Yeah, he's got a, I mean, that's good for Henry Cavill, too, because it's made a lot of money, hasn't it?
Mm-hmm. Oh, speaking
after
of
Justice League,
Henry Cavill, so the director talked about the look, you know, the mustache and beard combination, and how that came about. So the movie that Henry Cavill filmed before Mission Impossible Fallout, I think it's called like Nomis or something like that. He had a full beard, and so the day before, Henry Cavill comes in with just like how that looked, and the director was just like, oh yeah, sure, why not? We just went for it on a whim, and that whim destroyed Justice League. But it was also like, you know, Warner Brothers offered Paramount $25 million to digitally edit the beard and mustache on his face because it's easier to add that than subtract it.
Yeah.
And so Paramount still said no, and I'm just like, Disney had to tell you guys to say no.
Yeah.
Because then after that, it became public knowledge, and people that went to hate on the movie went and looked for that.
Looked for the CGI mustache, yeah.
Which the first time, I didn't even care about the CGI mustache.
I
just went to go see the film. And then
fun.
After I noticed it, I was just like, yeah, and?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just glad Henry Cavill hopefully has a career.
Oh, I mean, he does.
You know.
So, and apparently the director for Fallout is the front runner for directing Man of Steel 2.
Yeah, because like a lot of those DCU actors, like, has Gal Gadot been in anything besides Wonder Woman and Wonder Woman 2?
Nothing like big.
Nothing
she
like
was
big.
In
some comedy with
God, why can't
I don't remember it, but I know she was in a comedy.
Yeah, and it had Isla Fisher in it.
Yeah.
And Zach Galifianakis.
I was gonna say not Amy Adams.
And then I can't remember who her like husband was in that one, but he's also like a bigger actor. I mean, but Henry Cavill was an actor before Man of Steel. He was in The Count of Monte Cristo.
Yeah.
And then in between Man of Steel and I think Batman vs Superman, he was in The Man from U.N.C.L.E., which I thought was a pretty good spy flick.
Mm-hmm.
So he's been, and then he was on The Tudors while that was on.
Okay.
But I think besides him and Ben Affleck, everybody else has pretty much been. I mean, Jason Momoa was on one season of Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
So other than that, they're pretty much just been typecast.
Hanging out. Yeah.
Ezra Miller's been in a few small.
Yeah, Ezra Miller has been doing. Ezra Miller.
Did you see his Comicon costume?
Who was he?
Toadette.
I did. Yeah, I think I did see that.
I was just like,
he is just.
He just does not care.
He's an eccentric dude.
I was just interested that someone actually cosplayed as Toadette.
The only thing I thought was funny, and this is later when we get into Comicon, but Colton Haynes is coming back to Arrow, and he had the Infinity Gauntlet during all the press stuff they did. I thought that was funny.
Yeah, that was pretty good. You want to transition into Comicon now, or do you want to talk about?
There's a couple stuff. I saw Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom.
Okay, what'd you think about that?
It was okay.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was pretty decent for what it was. Like, it was good. I enjoyed it. The one scene that will always stick with me is when the Indominus Raptor, is that what they call it?
Yeah.
Went up on the roof. And the buildup of that score, like I have that track on my phone because I loved it so much. But I thought it was. This is, I guess, a major spoiler, even though they don't sort of like they build up to it in the movie, but they don't really make that big of a deal of it, which is kind of weird. Is that the little girl in the movie is a clone of the actual one? Is like the old man was partners with John Hammond, and they split over this because his daughter died in a car accident, and he cloned her. And he's been masquerading this as her, as his granddaughter. And I'm just like, yeah, I feel like that'd be a much bigger deal if that got revealed, even with like a killer dinosaur on the loose.
Yeah, I guess it reveals that they can clone people too, and not just humans.
Yeah.
Even though, like, a clone in that sense is almost like your kid, you know what I mean?
Right. But I guess
it just has all your DNA instead of half.
Well, I think that clone had all the daughter's DNA.
Yeah.
So I guess, I mean, but, the stereotypical suit bad guy had an excellent point. Where'd you think this was gonna go?
Yeah.
So I think it was good for what it was, and then when the next one comes out,
I guess the dinosaurs are out now.
Right.
Is that what they're going to try to do? Like, dinosaurs just going to be out?
Well, I think what's going to have to happen is, like, you're going to have the dinosaurs are going to have to really become hermaphrodites and reproduce that way, because, I mean, A, life finds a way, and B, if you really want to make it, essentially, it'd be like Planet of the Apes, but dinosaur version. You're going to have to make them able to reproduce in some way so they can take over.
Yeah, I'm like, are they going for a Planet of the Apes thing where they just take over?
That's what it seems like.
The Jurassic Park movies have never been as, like, dark as those Planet of the Apes movies.
Right.
Because, like, even, I mean, with the I'm talking about the newer trilogy, like, that was planned from the beginning that, like, the apes were going to take over. You know? And most of the humans in those movies aren't really that sympathetic, so you root for the apes for the most part.
Right.
There'll be like one good human in each movie for the most part.
Right. And it was interesting. Someone did a social study where they talked to moviegoers after they watched the film, and they asked different moviegoers. They asked who were you identifying with, or who were you rooting for, the apes or the humans, and because of the distinct racial connotations of the film, there were a lot of people of color that thought they were rooting for the apes.
Pretty much.
And, you know, there are some white people that are like, yeah, we were rooting for the humans. Even though, like, when they brought out those hoses in the first one, I was just like,
Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah, I mean, I agree. But Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, I thought it was okay. I don't think it was, like, amazing. I think I enjoyed the first Jurassic World a little bit better.
Yeah.
But, it was fine. I will say my favorite shot in the movie is when the volcano erupts and you see all the dinosaurs dying. You see that one dinosaur die in the smoke.
Yeah, that was the original Brachiosaurus from the first one.
Yeah.
That's what they said. They used the same animations from that one to do that.
Yeah.
And I was just like, that's sad.
It was sad.
But in the movie, like, you know how they're talking about there are people protesting, like, to keep them alive and all that. I heard some people after the film saying, like, that's not real. People wouldn't do that. I'm like, really?
Yeah, they would.
Really?
Yeah, they would.
Yeah, they would.
Have you seen... This is off topic, but, like, I watched a video. It was, like, some... I don't know if they're, like, an animal rights group or something like that, but they were like animal rights people, like, protesting, like, meat and stuff. And they were literally, like, for the protest, they were branding themselves. Yep. Like, oh, because this is what happens to animals. And I'm just like, if you ever see me, like,
if I saw that in real life, I'd be like, that's not making me sympathetic to animals. That's making me think you need some help.
You're not. I am never being branded. No. Like, Jesus. Like, dude, like, at least a tattoo, you can get it removed. Like,
right, and throwing themselves in, like, cages and things like that. Like,
I mean, even the cages, I'm like, okay, whatever, it's a symbolic protest. Like, I understand that. But, like, the branding, I was like, step too far. Because the next day when you wake up, that's still going to be there.
Yeah.
But moving on, so real quick, I saw Ant-Man the Wasp. If you like the first one, you'll like the second one.
I think it's just okay.
You'll probably think it's just okay. It's definitely, after Black Panther and Infinity War, the movie definitely just feels like a Marvel movie. Mm-hmm. You know? I will say the post-credit scene is pretty funny. Have you heard, have you been spoiled yet about it?
The post-credit scene
for Ant-Man the Wasp?
Not a funny one, no. I've only heard about the larger context of the...
Well, the larger... you know what happened. They do the snap at the end.
Right.
Yeah.
So I know about that one. I didn't hear about the other one.
Well, the other one is just... So the first... alright, it's a spoiler. It's been out for long enough. So at the end of the movie, Ant-Man is in the quantum realm, like, trying to get some quantum energy. And then he gets stuck there because while he's in there, everyone else... Hank Pym and Janet Van Dyne is back, and Wasp, Hope Van Dyne, they all get snapped at the end, and Ant-Man's stuck in there. And then it says Ant-Man the Wasp will return with a question mark. And then the other post-credit scene is, the giant ant from the first one. Mm-hmm. The giant ant from the first one is just it's hanging out in Ant-Man's house, and you see a TV, and the TV's signal is lost. I guess because, like, after the snap, everything's just in chaos. So I thought the post credit was good. The movie itself was fine. I will say the villain, they go for the sympathetic villain route as opposed to, like, your stereotypical, so like,
they're going down. That's what they're trying to do for all their villains now.
Yeah, because I guess the stereotypical, they're tired of redoing Obadiah Stane 15 times.
Yeah, but it's just like, you gotta make your villains unique. People say Loki was a sympathetic villain. I'm just like, not really. Like, some of the things that happened to him were sad, yes, but he was still treated rather well before he, it's not like he was Scar.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, his name, Scar's name before it was Scar was Taka, which literally means garbage.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he wasn't hated like that. But... Killmonger, they said, was a sympathetic villain. Thanos, they said, is a sympathetic villain. I'm just kind of like, not really? Like, yeah, his people got wiped out, but he wants to wipe out half the universe. I don't know if that's sympathetic.
Yeah, well, I think they tried to make Thanos sympathetic, but I don't think it landed the way that they wanted to.
I think Thanos is as sympathetic as Lex Luthor is in Batman vs Superman.
Yeah, I mean yeah. But I mean, Ant-Man was fine. I will say his daughter is adorable.
Yeah.
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 And Wasp was pretty cool. They don't really give her like a lot of character growth. Like she's there to be like an action girl, but she has cool fight scenes, and they definitely, I think her and Paul Rudd got paid the same. I think that was a big deal. They gave them both like star billing.
I think she was going to quit acting before Ant-Man.
Was she?
I read an article about that. Like she was going to be like done.
Well, she was on Lost. She was probably burnt out after. Because when I first saw her in Ant-Man, I was like, oh, it's a girl from Lost.
Wasn't she Kate?
Kate, yep.
Yeah.
No, she she on a press tour. I think one of the questions someone asked her about Lost, she was like, "Oh yeah, I made out with guys and ran from a smoke monster." It was a good
good 6 years, 7 years.
Good 6-7 years. That was a long show.
Yeah, I had only seen 2 episodes of Lost when the finale came out.
Really?
The first episode and the finale.
Really?
I was extremely confused.
Yeah,
but then it oddly made sense. And then I went back and watched the show, and I was just like, yeah, it made more sense before I watched the show.
Yeah, the island was pretty much like, I guess it was supposed to be purgatory.
But then they were also like, there was the Flash Forward timeline where they were off the. Let's not get into Lost.
Yeah.
Comicon.
Yeah, we can get into Comicon. So,
winners from Comicon. I think pretty much. Well, besides Marvel, because they didn't really do anything.
Marvel didn't do much. I mean, DC dominated, but it's not like they had a lot of competition.
Yeah, like Warner Brothers won in pretty much every aspect. Disney won. The CW just sort of stagnated.
Yeah.
There's nothing about any of the shows that. I mean, I guess having Constantine on Legends is pretty cool because I like how Matt
Ryan.
Is it Matt Ryan?
Yeah, it's Matt Ryan.
Okay, because I was like, no, he's the quarterback for the Falcons, but I guess they're both named Matt Ryan. Wow. He does a really good Constantine. I enjoy his interpretation of it. So I guess that's something to look forward to. Flash looks to be
his daughter.
Yeah,
we'll see what they do. Who's the villain?
What's his name? Cicada.
Cicada.
Yeah. So, do you know about? Cicada?
I'm not sure. I don't know a lot about Cicada.
So Cicada, in the comics, and he probably won't have as similar of an origin, but his powers are basically like he can absorb the life from other people, and so like he can do that to heal himself, and he can do that to live longer and things like that. And in the comics, he saw like some prophecy or whatever that if he stole the life from the Flash, he'd be able to bring his wife back to life. And he did. And then his wife sort of hated him because it was revealed that he killed his wife to begin with. And so then once his wife turned on him, he killed her again. So it was kind of weird. So you're going to get this more like, and then the producer said you're going to see a lot of deaths this season. So they're probably going to go more with this. Like he had a cult in the comics, so you'll see this like sort of cult worshiping him, and he'll be killing people with that like lightning bolt spear and stealing their life, which should be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
A return to the darker type of Flash.
I don't know. Nowhere but up.
Yeah.
Nowhere but up.
And then Danielle Panabaker gets to direct the episode. I'm assuming that's going to be the Killer Frost.
That's fun.
Dominated one.
I hope I don't need to see Dr. Finkel ever again. They overdid the joke. It was fine the first time. After that, no more. They can get rid of Dr. Finkel. I'm trying to think. So
Supergirl's trailer was just like, I have no idea what you're trying to do.
Supergirl, I don't know what they're doing. They're going to have, I guess they're going to have the first transgender superhero played by a transgender actress, so I guess that's, that's a milestone for them, I guess. I guess, so Batwoman is getting a show, and, the backdoor pilot is going to be this year's crossover, and the Legends will be in it. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's what I've heard, and I was just like, well, that's how the Legends got started. I've never really been that big of a Batwoman fan.
Yeah, well, you know why they're using her? Because she's probably the one that's off limit to the DCEU.
Yeah.
Because you know that they're going to want to use, well, Robin's in Teen Titans, but you know they could want to use Robin. There's been a Batgirl movie in like development for like 10 years. Joss Whedon didn't want to do it.
Yeah, they just lost him.
As far as I'm trying to think of other Bat family characters, she's one of the few I think that they could use for TV. So I mean,
Bruce Wayne exists in the universe,
I guess, but it's also going to be like, it's the same issue you have with like a show like Gotham, where it's just like, just do Batman.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I get why they don't, but it's just like at a certain point, it's like, you did Superman,
right?
Just do Batman.
Also, I have to watch Gotham this upcoming season.
Yeah, it's their last season.
Yeah, I made a promise to my brother when Batman comes to the show, I will watch the show, no matter how bad.
Like I said, Gotham. If you view it as an Elseworld story, you know what I mean. Like there's a ton of Batman Elseworld stories. View it as an Elseworld story, and I think it's fine.
I watched this last half season or whatever with this new
Joker,
and I was just like, well.
Jeremiah.
Well.
Yeah.
Well then, all right.
I like when he burned his own henchman alive.
Yeah, it was the scene where he blew up all those buildings that did it for me, and I'm just like, oh.
Yeah.
All right now.
Yeah, were there because at the end of Gotham last season they were I think they were teasing that No Man's Land, where like all the villains are just out of control and the feds don't want to help. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's actually when I actually started reading Batman comics in No Man's Land Aftermath. That was when I started reading Batman comics. So that's a great storyline for them to go into. Speaking of Batman and coming off of Comicon, DC Animated Universe are doing Hush as an animated movie.
Yeah, finally.
Yeah, I hope they have the animated series cast for that.
Yeah, I mean Hush is a good story, and like it hasn't been adapted, I don't think, in animation ever.
Not even. I mean, you could
or live action.
The video game, kind of, but not too much.
The video game disappointed me because they teased him in Arkham City. So everybody's like, "Oh, dude, Hush is going to be a big villain in Arkham Knight," and then it's like he kidnaps he holds Lucius hostage, and then you beat him in a quick time event, don't you?
Yeah.
And then that's it.
Yeah. So I was just like, whatever. So yeah, looking forward to that. Batman, the Matt Reeves directed one, is supposedly supposed to take a focus on year one.
Yeah.
If you were just like, another Batman origin story. And I'm like, well, year one's not really an origin story. But like, even if you were gonna do something like the Long Halloween, that's still a young Batman. I would think if you were gonna do a Batman live action, like Hush would be the storyline to go to. No Man's Land, if you really want to get those villains out there.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, granted, we did just have The Dark Knight Rises with Bane 6 years ago, but you could have Nightfall.
Nightfall, yeah.
You could literally do that as a trilogy, even though Azrael isn't really that beloved, I guess.
Yeah, people don't like Azrael as much.
He's fine.
They're doing a movie for so they did Death Superman. They're doing Reign of the Superman.
Did you see that clip?
Yeah, I saw the trailer for it. And they're doing because they kind of did they did a movie about Superman Doomsday, but it was not.
It was not that good.
No, it wasn't.
I remember watching that with some of my god brothers when they were younger, and they're like, yeah, Superman's fighting. Okay, what? Wait, what? What? Now what?
Yeah. But they're trying to be accurate with Superboy and the Eradicator and
Cyborg Superman.
And Kris Williams is voicing John Henry Irons.
Yeah, I was hoping to see him in the documentary or the featurette that came out with the trailer, but he wasn't in. I was like,
Yeah.
So DC Animated Universe is still going to be winning.
Young Justice Season 3.
I'm excited. DC streaming service, it's going to have static
Yeah.
It's going to have Batman Beyond. So I'm just like, you know what?
Just take my money.
Right, you had the subscription already.
Yeah, it's like the memes fry, take my money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, Young Justice looks good, and I'm glad that, like, it's one of the few shows that actually got revived after a revival campaign. I think another one was like Samurai Jack.
Right.
Was there a campaign for Samurai Jack, or did it just come back arbitrarily?
It just came back. They just had some. It was in like production hell for a while because you had like that Cartoon Network like changeover. They were trying to figure out what they were trying to be, and then Mako died.
Yeah.
But I think once they saw the actor that did it in The Last Airbender who took over for Uncle Iroh, once Mako died, they're just like, okay, we can still do this again because I mean you can't
for Aku, yeah.
Yeah, you can't lose Aku and then be like, yeah, we can bring it back to show.
Yeah. So, but I'm glad it's back. Sure. Sorry.
Yeah, a couple other shows getting revived. The Clone Wars or Star Wars is getting revived.
Yeah, Clone Wars. I actually haven't seen it, but it might be a good chance to jump in now that it's coming back.
I would, even though I don't know if it's on Netflix anymore, but it's going to be on the Disney streaming service. My brother is just like, you're getting one of these streaming services. You can't buy. I was like, I'll get the Disney one. It's fine.
Yeah, I have Netflix and Crunchyroll, so we'll see. I actually read an article that said the streaming service bubble is gonna burst, and I'm like, we'll see.
Begun the streaming wars have.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, the thing is, if you don't pay for cable and you just pay for streaming services, you're still probably saving money.
Yeah.
So it depends on what you want to do.
I mean, if one of these companies were smart, like AT&T or something like that, like with AT&T, at least with the phone plan, I don't know about the cable and internet plan. You get HBO Go.
Yeah.
As a part of it, like, but if Verizon and the rest of them were smart, like in Comcast, you partner up with a couple of these streaming services, like, hey, you get our internet package, you get these streaming services.
Yeah, they're gonna have to bundle to survive. But
unless Disney buys them all.
You want to talk about movies?
Yes. So
you stick with DC first, and then transfer to Godzilla and everything.
Yes. Aquaman. I like the trailer. It looks like it's gonna be.
It looks fun.
DC's Black Panther.
Pretty much. People are comparing it to that, but like, it looks like some people are nitpicking, and I'm like, Aquaman honestly looks good. You've got a charming lead. You've got an interesting setting. Black Manta looks great. Oh my gosh!
When I saw it in the trailer, I was like, oh my god. When I saw the production photo of like with the mask, and I was like, people were like, oh man, this looks good. I'm like, it looks kind of crappy. And then I saw it in the with the film. I was like, oh.
Cause the thing about Black Manta is that he's one of those characters that like, on paper looks super goofy, like he's an evil scuba diver pretty much. But like his character, like he's pretty badass. So I liked seeing him he looked cool in the trailer.
Yeah, and then you have apparently the post-credit scene is Aquaman or Black Manta isn't in the movie a lot. He's like the C story essentially. But it's like Black Manta gets recruited by Luthor or something like that, and you have the Legion of Doom. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
And people are like, oh, they're leaking the post-credit scene this soon. That means the movie's gonna start. I'm just like, shut up.
I don't think that's post-credit scene.
I don't think it is either. But it's still like they may hint at it or something. But yeah, Black Manta, Legion of Doom, that pretty much goes hand in hand. I'm here for it.
Did you see the meme? It was like, I can't trust Black Manta because he doesn't have waves.
Yeah, he's underwater and he still doesn't have waves. Black Twitter is undefeated.
Pretty much. What about Shazam?
I thought it looked like a fun movie.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of Zachary Levi. I watched Chuck. I like that show.
Does he have a podcast too, or no?
Zachary Levi, I think he does. I want to say he does, but yet I think he captures like. The only thing is like I don't know a person alive that could capture like the Boy Scout like looks of Shazam, but in terms of the personality of having like that playful kid in an adult's body, I think Zachary Levi accomplishes that well. apparently him and the what's his name, the kid, have a great repertoire, so they were able to portray each other in acting, which is pretty cool. The effects for it look good. The only criticism I've seen for the effects are the lightning bolt. I'm like, that's probably gonna look different once you actually see the movie.
Yeah, people want a Superman cameo in it, I think. But
yeah, because this takes place after Justice League.
Yeah.
So
I think is there a battering in there somewhere in the trailer?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's in I think one of the kids has one.
One of the kids has one. Okay.
I think Freddy might have one.
But no, I mean it looks good. Did they show off Wonder Woman footage, or did they just have a panel for it?
I've seen some of it, 5 seconds of it, and then it got taken down.
Really?
But it was essentially like her fighting a bad guy in the mall and dragging someone with her rope, with her lasso, which I don't get why it takes place in the past, because my question is, if she's fighting in a public place like a mall, how are people not going to recognize her 20 years or 30 years later when she comes back? Or why would Bruce say she was hiding from the world when she was literally fighting 30 years ago when you were still alive, Bruce?
And how's Steve back?
I think they're gonna go with that's his grandson
or something. Okay.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Just have Chris Pine dead so he can be Green Lantern. Gosh. Yeah, someone just did fan art where they had Chris Pine as Hal Jordan, Jason Momoa as Lobo, and I can't remember what the third DC character was. They're there, I fixed it. And I'm like, just because they look like they could fit the role doesn't mean they would actually do it.
I don't even. You think DC would ever do Lobo?
No. I can see him showing up in a movie, but they would not. I did not see them doing a live action Lobo film.
Yeah, I feel like they couldn't. Yeah, he's not Deadpool. Yeah. Lobo's almost like the precursor to someone like Deadpool, though. And even Harley Quinn.
Yeah, but without the humor.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of anything else. Yeah, Arrowverse pretty so. Oliver's got a prison fight in Arrow. They said he's going to be in prison for a while, allegedly. Remember how long we thought Flashpoint was going to be? Or how long Barry was in the Speed Force?
Was that one episode or 2 episodes?
Barry in the Speed Force? He got out in the first one.
Oh, okay, all right. So that's that short. Well.
So I don't trust them.
I mean, I would say I think for Arrow it's at least 3 episodes because it looked like you had different states for Oliver, and then you saw Brick was there and one other villain I can't remember.
Michael J. White. What's his name?
Bronze Tiger.
I thought he was dead.
Yeah, so did I.
Yeah, Bronze Tiger. I'm like, Michael J. White's still working. Good for him.
Did Brother Blood die in season 2 of Arrow?
Yeah, he died.
Okay.
Deathstroke killed him.
Okay, I couldn't remember.
I think Bronze Tiger got written off because they were down with the Suicide Squad. Because it was before the movie came out.
Right, and they couldn't use it.
Even though he wasn't in the movie, so.
Yeah.
Because I like Michael J. White. Some people wanted him to be Luke Cage, but I'm like, the thing is, Michael J. White he's very good at action. You know what I'm saying? He's very good at action and fight scenes. I mean, as an actor, I think he's just okay.
Right.
You know?
The thing is, Luke Cage is a brawler. He's not really a martial artist, so.
Luke can't really fight like that.
No.
That was when Bushmaster beat him in season 2. People were like, someone needs to teach Luke how to fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Danny, there you go.
Yeah, because I mean, I guess, because Luke, he throws people a lot, but he's not really. Like I said, he can't really fight like that. So, yeah, I don't. Yeah.
Going from Luke Cage, you saw the Iron Fist teaser.
Just
okay.
Well, you see the one with him and Davos and the mask.
Yeah.
And it was okay.
I'm just like.
Black Twitter's already making fun of it.
I was just like, that's not the costume I would do. Don't do the immortal.
I guess it's supposed to be like their training costumes, but it's too late. Black Twitter already started dragging them.
Yeah.
They've got Misty Knight on there, but I don't think Misty can save the show by herself. Because they keep teasing Daughters of the Dragon, you know, and they're using that because otherwise, like, they wouldn't. I know I watch Iron Fist.
Right.
And I'm just sitting here like, just do Daughters of the Dragon already.
And didn't do Heroes for Hire. Just put them together, because honestly, that is the best Danny Rand we've ever gotten, and actually made him like, oh, if they just did this originally, we might like him.
Yeah, apparently the fights are supposed to be better. Because that was also another problem with Iron Fist Season 1, is that Finn Jones did not know how to fight like that.
Yeah, now he had,
they
a
picked
year
him,
and 3 weeks
They
to
picked
train.
him because he was in Game of Thrones, and it was like...
But he wasn't even that compelling in Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
He was just kind of there.
And then you had all the controversy of, like... I mean, because even, I remember Kevin Smith was talking about this, like... There's all this controversy of, like, oh, should they have picked an Asian guy as an Iron Fist for more diversity, and white savior and all this kind of stuff. And even, like, Kevin Smith was like... When you see, like, the Iron Fist that we get and the action scenes that we get, it just makes you wonder what it would be like if we got somebody that was different. Mm-hmm. You know?
I just want Shang-Chi in there because, honestly, Shang-Chi's, like, top 5 best martial artists in the MCU,
in Marvel.
And so, like, even to the point where Black Panther in his comic with Luke Cage was just like, yeah, ask your boy Iron Fist about him. I'm surprised he hasn't mentioned him. But, yeah, he's the martial artist.
Yeah. So we went through... I'm trying to think. We went through most of Comicon. What else I want to talk about?
Let's see. Fantastic Beast. Whatever.
Godzilla.
Yeah. I was going to save that one for last.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. Did we get anything else good out of that? No, I don't think we did. Alright, Godzilla. King of the Monsters. Looking forward to it.
It looks good.
I'll buy my tickets a year in advance if I have to.
So they're bringing in what? Mothra and King Ghidorah?
Mothra, Rodan, and King Ghidorah.
Yeah, because they're trying to build out like a monster universe.
Right.
Because wasn't there an end credit scene with Kong Skull Island?
Yeah, and it showed Godzilla, Mothra, Rodan, and King Ghidorah.
Yeah, so I think they're planning on doing Godzilla versus King Kong after this, right?
Mm-hmm, in 2020. And so that's why they made a point in Kong Skull Island saying that Kong is still growing, like he's still just like a child essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think in that he's like maybe like 70, 80 feet, something like that, and Godzilla's like 300 feet. Mm-hmm. So he has to grow some more to be able to like have a decent chance. Fight with them. Yeah. And in this one, King Ghidorah is like 500 feet. Mm-hmm. So he's clearly bigger. But Mothra is generally an ally to Godzilla, so she'll have some help. No one's sure which side Rodan will be on. But you saw in the trailer like the scale of the destruction. But I don't get the plot point of having to go find all of these titans, these kaiju, to save the world. I don't get that. Unless she's just like, yeah, wipe out like 3/4 of humanity and then we'll be safe. And I'm just like, no. Just don't focus on humans at that point.
Yeah.
Just like, oh, we accidentally woke them up. Crap.
Yeah, someone should do a parody of the Justice League poster where you can't save the world alone and just have Godzilla and all the monsters.
Yeah, but I have hope for it. So you have Millie Bobby Brown in it. You have God, I can't remember his name, but Discount Matthew Broderick. You have Tywin Lannister in it. Ken Nakamura's back. Even though I don't think he's going to have that big of a role in it. Mm-hmm. I think he'll just be there for exposition's sake.
They killed off Bryan Cranston too soon.
Yeah, they really did. They really did.
Dude, what a misdirect from those trailers.
Man, because it was coming right off Breaking Bad. Everybody was so excited. They're just like, oh, man, Heisenberg versus Godzilla. Oh.
Yeah, and then his son was Quicksilver.
Yeah, and his daughter-in-law was Scarlet Witch, which just made the next movie, them being in together, being brother and sister, a little weirder. And then he died in that. Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that Godzilla movie, though.
I did, too.
It was
fun.
fun.
Wish I could have saw a little bit more of Godzilla, but, you know, hey, what are you gonna do?
Well, that's what they always, you know. At least Godzilla had a good face. Because in some other movies, he did not.
Like the 90s version. Good job, Roland Emmerich.
What about Titans?
Titans.
Fuck Batman.
I'm not upset at that.
I know. I don't care. I don't care.
But it's like people forget, and it seems like DC fanboys seem to forget that, like, the history of, like, some of these characters when they do that. Like, they're saying, like, why is Robin that dark and that, moody? He's never been like that. I'm sorry. In the Batman the Animated Series, which was for kids,
yeah,
Robin knocked Batman flat on his butt when he quit.
Yeah.
Because he's saying Batman's a manipulator. You think you make your decision. No, he made that decision for you, even if you think you did. Like, you know, the whole reason why the Titans got started in the first place was Robin rebelled from Batman, and pretty much all the other sidekicks rebelled from their superheroes.
Yeah.
Which is also what you have in Young Justice.
Yep.
And everything like that. And then you remember the Teen Titans where, like, Robin was hallucinating Slade and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And he was dark and moody and all that. And he's like, I'm going to stop anybody that gets in my way, even you guys. And people were like, oh, well, that was just for one episode. I was like, that was for like 4 episodes, but okay, nice try.
Yeah, well, I think because of the way people look at the Robins, people think that, like, Jason Todd and Damian Wayne are the moody ones, and, like, Tim Drake and Dick Grayson are the nice ones, but it's like...
Pretty much they were all moody.
They're all moody, except Tim.
Except for when Tim's parents died. Then he got a little moody.
But it's like, he's rebelling. That's why the Titans are made, because he's rebelling against Batman.
Right. And so then they're like, oh, well, he was killing people. He was shooting them with guns. It's like, no, he wasn't. It was pretty much what you saw was Arkham in live action.
Yeah.
And people were like, oh, and I was talking to someone I think it was on Facebook, and they're just like, well, in the video games, it's just for the aesthetic. You know, it shouldn't look like that in real life. And I'm just like,
dude, Batman cripples people.
Right, I'm just like, the Bat family, realistically or in the comics, cripple people. And often for life.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter how much of a master you are. Some people have pre-existing conditions, or maybe their, like, bone structures within their body structure's a little bit different. And so you could, crack some person's rib and it doesn't puncture a lung. But you puncture someone else, or you crack someone else's rib and it punctures their lung, and they bleed out because they didn't get hospital in time. Like, you don't know what's gonna happen. It's a random game of chance.
Yeah.
Batman would kill people.
Yeah,
whether
he would.
intentionally or unintentionally.
Pretty much, yeah.
Also, like, when he stepped on that dude's jaw, that was straight out of Arkham.
Yeah, that was straight out of Arkham. It's just like, all right, guys, like, calm down. And then, like, Beast Boy and Raven, I haven't seen enough of them. We'll see.
I mean, Raven, like, it's not hard to do a Raven. It's just hard to do her effects.
Yeah.
Like, afterwards. Beast Boy, I'm just like, I wasn't expecting Beast Boy to look good.
Yeah.
To be completely honest. Like, you could, but I wasn't expecting.
I wonder how they're going to do that CG with Beast Boy. Beast Boy's got to be the most expensive.
That's where that budget is going.
And Starfire. So we talked about this. I talked about this with Lanisha on the podcast that I taped yesterday. Look, at the end of the day, everyone acknowledges that the wig/outfit looks bad, especially the wig. Black Twitter caught onto it first when the first set photos came out, and we were like, "What is her wig doing?"
Yep.
Pretty much, because cosplayers on a budget have made better Starfire wigs. We all know that. Allegedly, that is a temporary costume, and she's going to look different in the actual show. I'm curious, only because I feel like they would have showed it off at Comicon after getting the negative blowback before, but maybe they haven't filmed it yet. Who knows?
Right. I hope she throws that wig off like Koye did.
Yeah. But now you got all these, like, internet racists that they don't want a black woman to play Starfire, and it's like...
And it's not even internet racist either. You got some black men that are saying, like, a dark woman should not be playing Starfire, and I'm just like, no, makeup can make her orange. It doesn't matter about that. It's just their costume department sucks.
Yeah.
Or they just don't care.
Yeah.
Because honestly, like, you saw probably about a half a dozen cosplayers, and not even like the big ones, just, you know, like people that just do it for fun.
Mm-hmm.
Did better Starfires, and it ranged from skin tones from like light skin to dark skin, and it looked great.
Yeah.
But, you know, you gotta put some effort into it.
Pretty much. And so, yeah, you've got all these people complaining that they, shouldn't play Starfire. And it's like, dude, she's an orange alien. It could literally be anybody. Right. Beast Boy is Asian. Who cares? Who cares? You know, I mean, at the end of the day, you want to have a diverse cast. And for someone like Starfire, it really shouldn't matter. You know? Zoe Saldana has been blue. She's been green. You know. Like, how is this any different?
When you have... And so, like, I think some of the differences between a lot of the black and other people of color superheroes, the superheroes of color, is that their characters are enveloped in their race because of the world we live in and have lived in.
Yeah.
And so that's sort of the difference when you have a black character play what is traditionally a white character versus having another race playing a superhero of color, because I want to say besides like maybe Superman, Batman, and a few others, their identities aren't really wrapped up in like who they are outside the costume.
Yeah.
Like Superman, farm boy from Kansas. All right, well, how many black people do you know that are going to be farm boys from Kansas?
Yeah.
How many Mexicans? How many Asians? Like,
yeah.
Let's be real honest, you're not going to. Parents who are rich billionaires for...
And
like,
old money, too.
Old money, especially like...
The Wayans are old.
Like, back
old
to
money.
the founding days of America. Ain't no family but a white family going to have that. So, you know, that's fine. Peter Parker, yeah. I would say yeah. But, you know, having a black Spider-Man and Miles Morales, which I hope that comic book gets picked up again since Brian
they're doing that animated movie.
Yeah. Brian Michael Bendis went to DC. He's doing Superman now. He was the one that was doing Miles Morales.
Yeah.
Now that he's gone, no one's really there, so it's sort of just like in limbo now. And
yeah.
Because Spider-Gwen is still ongoing, but Miles Morales is sort of being left there.
Yeah.
And that's sort of disheartening. But I am looking forward to Into the Spider-Verse.
It looks fine. Animated, you know.
I'll be there.
Can't really go wrong. I mean, it could, but I hope it doesn't.
Yeah, Marvel needs a win in its animated sector.
Yeah. Marvel animation is pretty pathetic, to be honest. But they really haven't... They had X-Men animated series back in the day.
Wolverine the X-Men had very excellent, like it was okay. Like, granted, I loved X-Men the animated series and X-Men Evolution more. It wasn't bad. It just like it got canceled after one season, which I don't understand why. Like,
Earth's Mightiest Heroes was okay.
Yeah, Earth's Mightiest Heroes was okay.
But then they replaced it with a terrible show.
Avengers Assemble
is garbage. Yeah.
And
because that one's legitimately, it's made for kids. It's made for kids who see the MCU. That's, you know what I mean?
Even though the one good thing that came from that was Hulk trying to punch Thor, and Thor put up Mjolnir.
Oh yeah, the hammer.
I was like, that's it. That's the only good thing from this.
Yeah.
Because even when they fought Thanos, I was just like,
That
was disappointing.
He was weak.
Yeah. And so.
And then Ultron got the gauntlet, I think.
And then I don't think that much happened from that.
Yeah, but yeah, they need to win their animation. Oh, I forgot to talk about did you ever watch Cloak and Dagger?
No, I was gonna wait for that to finish.
It ends next week. Just binge it. It's not Cloak and Dagger's pretty good. It's a different sort of show. You know, it's very much most of the show is all about like the origin. There's like a big mystery behind like how Cloak and Dagger get their powers, and there's like a corporation conspiracy, and there's a lot of like corrupt policing and stuff.
Is it Roxanne?
Roxxon, yeah, and it's set in New Orleans, so finally they're not in New York. Like every superhero, that's another pet peeve I have with Marvel. Every superhero does not have to be New York.
Right, not even New York City. They're all in New York. The Avengers are in New York City. The X-Men are in Manchester.
Doctor Strange,
New
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man's New York Hells. At least with Daredevil, he's just like, I want my 5-block radius. This is my place. Stay out of it.
Yeah.
And then
Luke Cage, the Defenders. Luke Cage. It's just like, but so yeah, Cloak and Dagger, New Orleans, and it's a pretty good show. They touch on a lot of social issues like racism, police brutality, addiction is a big part of it.
And that was a big part of it in the comics.
In the comics, yeah.
So I'm glad they covered.
Because didn't Cloak and Dagger come out in the 80s after the crack epidemic?
Yeah, so it was like the two comics that talked about that the most were Green Arrow with Speedy and Cloak and Dagger.
Yeah. So I would definitely say the show's good. It's on, it's kind of, the thing is, it's on Freeform, which is like, it used to be ABC Family, right? Mm-hmm. So,
AKA the Harry Potter Marathon channel.
Pretty much. Yeah, I watched a little bit of, they have the Blackish spinoff, Grownish. Yeah.
That didn't really appeal to me when I saw the, pilot, because I was just like, I just left college, and this is just showing me the things that annoyed me from college. So
yeah, it's okay. Grownish is okay. We'll talk about that at another time.
To be continued.
To be continued. But I'll definitely go check out Cloak and Dagger. I think we covered most things, right?
Yeah. The only thing I would want to add was I'm looking forward to the Spider-Man PS4 game. I have been for the past 3 years.
It looks good. I think a boss battle with Kingpin was leaked today or something like that.
Oh man, I would just want it to be in the comic right before Brand New Day started, when it was Spider-Man went and beat the crap out of Kingpin in jail.
Yeah,
and it was just I could shoot so much web fluid into you that your lungs would be stuck together and you would die in 30 seconds. And I was just like, Spider-Man took a book out of Batman's playbook.
Pretty much.
Even though Iron Man is not Marvel's Batman. It's Spider-Man for all intents and purposes.
Yeah.
Except Spider-Man just quips more.
Pretty much. There was something I wanted to add. Oh, I just wanted to ask you, what was your opinion on the Batman Catwoman wedding? That didn't happen. How do you feel about that? I'm pretty sure, I think Tom King was joking that he had a bodyguard at Comicon.
Yeah, they said it's a 50-issue arc.
A 100-issue arc, I think, or
it's a big story arc. It's 50 or 100. One of us are right. Mm-hmm. But it's gonna be this long, prevailing story, and I was just like, Catwoman, you let the Joker get into your head, which is what he does. But so you have that. I wasn't overly disappointed by it. I just was like, whatever. But the Bat Family stories with the different villains leading up to the wedding, those were fantastic. It was Batgirl and Riddler.
Yeah.
Nightwing and Hush.
Red Hood and Anarchy.
Yeah, and then
the Joker and Harley Quinn.
Yeah, those were pretty great. I enjoyed those. What else was? Anything else good? The 2 episodes before the wedding issue where it was Joker and Catwoman in the church. That was a pretty great comic. I enjoyed their interaction. Mm-hmm. And then Catwoman and Damian's conversations. It's just are you and Father planning to have a child?
What?
So I think that was pretty great. They're gonna start doing the 3 Joker story arc.
Yeah. I'm excited. Finally, I thought they forgot about it or just weren't going to do it.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. Also, I've been paying attention to Doomsday Clock, and God, does it feel like reading Watchmen all over again.
Doomsday Clock, yeah, it's long. I'm annoyed with so many gaps. Mm-hmm. It's almost yeah.
It's Doomsday Clock is a full year ahead of everything that's going on right now in the comics.
Yeah.
Which is fine, but also quite annoying.
Yeah, I've enjoyed, I've enjoyed what I've read of it. I'm trying to think.
It's just really slow.
The new Justice League hasn't been bad.
Yeah, no, that's been alright. I want to see where
Lex is evil again.
Yeah, that sort of came out of nowhere.
Yeah, because it was like after with No Justice, he was just like, yeah, I'm evil again.
Yeah, and it's not...
Come on, Legion.
Right, and it's not like he's, how he's been portrayed before where, it's like, oh, I just beat, as soon as Superman's out the way, I can save the world. It's just straight up like, nope, I'm going for absolute power.
Yeah.
And it's just like, all right, I kind of liked Lex being like this sort of hero, anti-hero thing.
Mm-hmm.
But whatever.
I'm trying to think of anything else. I think Justice League Odyssey hasn't come out yet. Where I guess they're teaming up with Darkseid.
That should be
interesting. They're rebooting Justice League Dark. I'm a little annoyed that they don't have John Constantine on the team.
I think it's just they don't want to oversaturate the character.
Probably. But Wonder Woman's on it, so, we'll see. I'm trying to think of anything. Anything else from the comics? Yeah, because even the Batman Catwoman wedding, I was disappointed, but I don't know if they're ever actually going to put them together. I don't know. I get the argument of like, well, Batman can't be Batman if he's happy, And in the argument is that, well, if they did get married and they broke them up later, people might be more pissed, like with One More Day. So.
Well, that was just a dumb way to break them apart, but yeah, because the whole thing with that One More Day, and I'm pretty sure I've talked about this on the podcast before, but it's just like, all right, Aunt May is an old woman.
Yeah.
Who has lived out her life. Granted, you feel like it's your fault that she's dying, but you want to give up love of your life to save her when knowing full well that Aunt May would be like, don't you do that, boy?
Yeah.
It was sort of dumb.
Yeah.
But also, you made a deal with the devil. And whatever about that. I can't think of anything significant. I'm waiting for all the Infinity stuff to wrap up in Marvel before I take a crack at that. The new Thanos storyline where apparently Thanos means business. Who they got rid of that whole I want myself to fail weakness of his, like that subconscious one where he's just like, oh, I sabotage myself so I lose.
Mm-hmm.
So apparently Thanos is out for blood, and I'm like, okay,
fine,
all right.
And there's no more MCU movies until next year. They really front loaded it, but I'm sure New York Comicon will get a Captain Marvel trailer.
Yeah,
and probably Daredevil, Punisher.
Is Punisher season 2 coming out
next year?
Quickly? Oh.
Iron Fist is next. Iron Fist is next, and allegedly Daredevil is supposed to come out this year, according to Jeff Loeb. So they're really speeding up these shows. Rosario Dawson is tired.
Probably.
She doesn't want to do it anymore.
She doesn't get to do anything. She just gets to go around and give superhero pep talks.
Yeah.
And have coffee with Luke Cage.
Pretty much. Like that's why they kind of like wrote her out of Luke Cage season 2. Pretty much.
I didn't like that how in anger he sort of like punched the wall and sort of that way. I'm just kind of like, come on.
Well, it's also like punching a wall for Luke Cage is like,
Yeah.
If someone else did that, you'd be like, whoa. But like for him, it's like he tapped it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's not
in the same way, but the intent was still there.
Yeah.
I'm just like, all right, well. Overall, I didn't really like the arc for Luke in season 2 anyway, but it's neither here nor there.
Yeah. The thing is, I just don't know what they're going to do next season. I thought they were going to set up the daughter to be evil, which, they kind of are, but she's not in charge of anything yet.
Right, so she has to, take it from him, which is, I think they wrote themselves into a corner a little bit.
Yeah, well, we'll
Especially
see.
with no defenders coming around. Because if you had defenders, then you'd be like, oh, yeah, they all have to fight Luke Cage.
Yeah, well, we at least have Black Lightning. We don't know anything about that though, so which is both good and bad. But they got a full season, didn't they?
I don't even think they did, because if they did get a full season, I think they got more episodes, but I don't know if they got a full season. I think they may have gotten like 18.
Okay, I kind of don't want them to be honest.
Yeah, because then you have those filler
episodes. That's what happened in Riverdale. First season was okay. Second season, they had a bunch of pointless subplots that went nowhere.
That's why, and then I forgot about the show.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. All right, you wanna wrap everything up?
Yeah, I think we just about covered it.
Yeah, we covered a lot. So yeah, thank you guys for listening to the Two Black Two Nerdy podcast. And like I mentioned before in the beginning, the special podcast I did with Lanisha will be up either before or after this at some point. So definitely look out for that. And until next time, I'm Kris.
I'm Kris.
And this has been the Two Black Two Nerdy podcast. And we'll catch you all later. Bye-bye.
Peace.